Here now, former Texas Governor and former Energy Secretary Rick Barry. Governor, great to see you as always. The union doggone well knows that this tailpipe emissions rule is going to cost it 35,000 union jobs. The automakers, they're okay with it because, again, trillions of, billions of dollars in subsidies. When are they going to put their foot down and say, we're not going to 2/3 of all vehicles sold have to be electric?
Yeah, well, they think, like most Americans, is let the market work this out. They have a little bit of skin in the game, so to speak, because it's going to have a real impact on their day-to-day living that they're going to be making, or not going to be making in that case, if they force them into this. But I think most Americans, listen, electric vehicles are fine. We're going to build a lot of them right here in the state of Texas, in Austin, at the Tesla plant, most likely. But you need to let the market decide this. This is a pretty simple thing. And this administration can't give it up, though. They don't believe in capitalism. They believe in that Marxist theory of government is God and government is top down. And that's what we see day in and day out of the Biden administration. So no one should be surprised that they want to tell you how to live your life in a lot of different ways.
Governor, no doubt you're going to make a lot of EVs in Texas, but there are going to be a lot of folks in Texas and in rural America who say there's no way I can shift to an EV right now because I've got a truck, I've got a rig, I don't trust an EV to get my job done. It's a commercial thing. If we don't allow America to do this on an economic timeline, it's going to be rural America that get hit the hardest with this whole transition.
Yeah, great point. One size fits all may be great for gym socks, but it's not that good for automobile industry and telling people how to live their lives. Again, I go back to let the market decide this. Americans are great about innovating. That's why we lead the world in innovation. Leave us alone, Mr. Biden, and America will come up with the right way at the right time. And we will, if it's the right thing for America and the world, we'll have a huge number of electric cars. If not, fossil fuels will still drive this country. Before
you go on, but we'll never know because it's a giant welfare state. Right now, with just $1 trillion in subsidies just in that Inflation Reduction Act. Go ahead.
Governor, I want to switch gears and talk about UFC President Dana White taking to Twitter, declaring the new movie Sound of Freedom a must-see, even offering free tickets to his staff to go out and watch it this weekend. Watch this.
This is a disgusting, horrific issue that's happening all around the world, and it's not getting better, it's getting worse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give any of my UFC employees that want to see this movie free tickets to go see. And I would like to encourage other executives to do the same at their company.
Look, I'm always in for a good movie. Governor, you tweeted, in the face of evil, can good still prevail about this film? Obviously a real issue for you down in Texas, the epicenter in some ways of what this film is about. Talk about your views of this film and its importance right now.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief. My relationship with Eduardo Verástegui started about 15 years ago when he came to Texas and we showed a movie called Bella. I've worked with a number of others. 4 years ago, we started working on The Sound of Freedom, this movie that's just now coming out. It faced a lot of hurdles. I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm just going to say I don't understand why anyone wouldn't be incredibly supportive, not only of this movie. We passed legislation a decade ago against this sexual trafficking of children. Sinfronia Thompson, a very liberal Democrat, worked with me on this. We passed this. It's still a problem, and I will suggest to you, one of the reasons that it's a problem is because of this open border that we have with Mexico and the cartels using that open border to traffic these children. People need to go see this movie. This is an incredibly important movie, amazingly well done. Great actors. Jim Caviezel is a stunningly good actor. Go see this movie. If you are not gripped in your heart, you got a black heart, I'm sorry. Go see this. It is a stunningly great movie.
And Governor, what makes me so angry is when this movie starts succeeding, the knives come out. The Washington Post, late Friday afternoon, Sound of Freedom, a box office hit whose star embraces QAnon. They don't worry about the children who are being trafficked. They don't worry about the about the harm that's being done. They don't want the people to hear about that. They want to put a stop to it. And you saw Rolling Stone, same thing.
Well, that is a reflection of people who are ill. I mean, literally mentally ill, in my opinion. That is malevolence that you're putting your arms around by defending that type of activity. And you know, listen, Jim Caviezel is a wonderful Christian man. And the idea that you would attack him because he's trying to save children's lives, I'm not sure there is a depth of depravation that is any worse than that. That is a depraved soul.
And to try and keep people from seeing this film, do I hear a dog? Where's your dog? I hear a dog.
There's 5 of them out here running around somewhere. So
are they at your feet?
I don't think so at the moment, but there's no.
We thought we were picking up a dog growl there.
This is, even my dogs know, nonsense when they hear it from the Washington Post and from Stone.
Governor Rick Perry, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Guys, take care of yourselves.